So here's what happens. You've got these red blood cells that can have diminished vitamin C that aren't functioning well, or you can have red blood cells that are exposed to EMF, where now the chaotic forces are coming in that don't allow the spin. You can have red blood cells that are old, that don't have the spin, red blood cells that are affected by cigarette smoke, that raises fibrinogen, that clots the blood, that doesn't have the spin, or whatever. When those red blood cells lose the ability to repel one another, they become tired. So it's like being on a traffic jam. Cars being on a traffic jam, they can't pass one another, as opposed to being on an Autobahn where the cars are going like this. Mm-hmm. That's zeta potential. Mm. That's the force between RBCs. And when I learned that grounding increased zeta potential, not 30% or 50% or 100%, but an average of 280%, I said, wow, this is the most incredible discovery. Because if you can increase the thinning of your blood naturally by grounding, you can thwart off disease. Not only heart disease and stroke, but I'm thinking cancer, I'm thinking Alzheimer's, I'm thinking multiple sclerosis. I'm thinking any illness that requires good oxygenation to the tissues. So now here's the heartbreak. I was leaping for joy. I told Gaetan, I said, Gaetan, this is the biggest discovery, I think, of the 21st century. This is so incredible. It's unbelievable.
When did you learn that?
2 years ago.
So it's relatively recent.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago. I sent this paper to the American Journal of Cardiology, thinking that they would accept this paper as the greatest.
And get a Nobel Prize.
And get a Nobel, well, I wasn't thinking Nobel Prize. I'm thinking that cardiologists got to know this information because the cardiologist domain is sluggish blood. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why statins work. Mm-hmm. You know why statins work in a male with a low HDL?
Anti-inflammatory?
It's an anti-inflammatory, but it also thins the blood. See, low HDL thickens the blood. That's why a higher HDL is so important for the cardiac patient, because it thins the blood. Statins, and this is reported in the Edinburgh study and the West of Scotland study, 2 major studies on statins, where the researchers said that there was something other than cholesterol that was contributing to the benefit of statins. But they were leaning against cholesterol. They said statins literally thin the blood, and they changed what we call the rheology, or the shape of RBCs.